If you want to scale your agency past 50K a month, social proof is your currency. But here's the catch 22. You can't get big clients without case studies, and you can't get case studies, at least the right kind, without big clients. That's why today I'm going to give you 5 high leverage strategies that you can use even if you're starting from absolutely zero with no clients. I've used these exact 5 strategies to generate case studies with over 40 D2C brands, including 9-figure brands like bodybuilding.com, Waterdrop, and Wild. So trust me that these work. Here's the harsh reality of the agency game. When you're working with big clients, a lot of the times they're not allowing you to do case studies because they're sensitive about data and they have legal teams. And the smaller brands that you work with, even if you crush it for them, they think you've got some magical secret sauce that they don't want to reveal to their competitors. So how do you overcome this? That's why in these 5 strategies, I'm going to show you super smart ways to generate them by negotiating them upfront in the commercial agreement. That way there's no friction when it comes to actually generating the case study. And if you think that you can get a case study when the client is about to leave and you finish the working arrangements, forget it. They're already out the door and they're not in the mood to give you the case study. This is a massive mistake that I see agency owners consistently make. So without further ado, let's get into these 5 strategies and give you the value. Number 1 is what I call the beta partnership. And you want to position this not as free work, but as a strategic partnership that will get the client results. As an example, say to a prospect that you're looking for 3 people to participate in a beta program where you're going to test a new system or strategy and that they're going to be the lucky recipient. And if they get successful results, which you are incentivized to do, they will agree to a case study. And you can frame it as this usually costs $3,000 to $5,000 or something like this. But the key is to get buy-in without diminishing and reducing the perceived value of your work by attaching some type of price towards it. You'll be surprised how many people are much more receptive to taking you up on this when you actually attach a price point as opposed to saying, I will work for free, because there's a lot of people offering free work and clients and prospects are always suspicious and they don't want a newbie to work on their account. So by framing it this way, you come across as an expert and you're able to get the case study. Number 2 is including a performance incentive in the contract. Put your money where your mouth is. If you're so confident that you can get the client results, then actually bake it into the contract that they will agree to a case study when you hit a specific target. As an example, you can say, when we achieve X amount of revenue from email, you will agree to the case study. Or if you are an ad agency or a media buyer, if we hit a certain number on ROAS, that you will agree to the case study. You put your money where your mouth is, you tie it into the incentive, and you give the client proof that you're willing to have skin in the game. They absolutely love this, and it's a great way to get data-backed case studies as well. Number 3 is to build it into the contract directly as a line item. Who doesn't want to get a discount? I've built so many contracts around the 3-month mark where the client gets a small reduction in the monthly fee if they agree to the invoice. You will be hard pressed to find people who don't want to agree to this upfront when you're structuring the contract, and it's a very easy way to seamlessly collect the case study around the 3 to 4 month mark. The client gets a discount, you get your case study, which you can use as leverage. Everyone is happy, and it incentivizes you to do high quality work from the beginning, which de-risks the investment for them. It's a win-win. The 4th one is one that I have used so many times. And if you go on the Magnet Monster website, you will see a lot of our case studies actually don't include hard numbers, but they are incredibly visual and strategic in terms of our thinking that went in to getting the client results. Now, a lot of people will push back and say that these aren't good case studies because they don't have data, they don't have raw numbers showing the effectiveness of your strategy. And I do agree with this to some extent, but you will be surprised how many people, when they're actually looking to sign with an agency, are just looking for the logo or the actual design, or they just want to understand the conceptual thinking that went into the strategy. Because a lot of the time as well, these ROI screenshots and results can easily be manipulated to make you look good. So if you show the clients the design work, the strategic thinking, and critically, you get a case study from someone who's willing to vouch for you and go on camera, that's often enough to actually get people over the line. And the great thing is you don't get a lot of resistance from clients agreeing to this because they're not revealing any sensitive data. So don't undermine this. Definitely push to get case studies that don't actually include hard numbers. The fifth one is the hardest to pull off, but you see it used time and time again. How many times have you stumbled across an agency owner who says in their bio on LinkedIn or X, I had a brand or I had this type of business and then I was sick of the quality of service from agencies, so I decided to start my own. In fact, it's one that I've used before myself. Even though my previous e-commerce business failed, it still allows me to have a lot of credibility and to speak to other business owners on their wavelength. Because I've been in their shoes, I understand the pain points that they've went through, and it helps me to feel aligned to them and speak the same language. So if you want to walk the walk, get results, start your own projects, and then use that as the ultimate case study. It will help you a lot during prospecting and the sales process because you'll be able to speak the same language. And a lot of the time, that's one of the main pieces of trepidation that people have when signing with an agency, is that the brand or the agency that they're going to work with don't understand what it truly takes to run a brand, manage it, and speak the owner's language. So if you've done this and you can walk the walk as well as talk the talk, that is a massive advantage for you. And that will give you the perfect case study. And make sure you include this in your bio on LinkedIn and X. It's going to get you a lot of business. So they're the 5 case studies. Which one was your favorite? Let me know. I've used all of them to quite a large extent over the years. Number 4 is definitely one I've leaned on a lot, but you can use all of them at the right time. You do want a blend of creative case studies, data-backed case studies, but the most important thing is to get the logo. And if you can, get someone on video who's going to vouch for you. That's going to make all the difference. Business owners want to hear and trust other business owners. And if you can get people on video and get that logo, then ultimately it doesn't even matter on the depth of the case study. That's often enough to convince them to sign with you.